In any relationship, especially with a spouse, we may encounter situations where negative behaviors arise, be it criticism, impatience, or a lack of support. How do we handle these without encouraging the behavior while maintaining love and kindness? Operant conditioning, a concept in behavioral psychology, developed by B.F. Skinner, offers useful insights. Welcome to our channel. I am Emily, your stand-in host. And today let's explore balancing relationship dynamics using operant conditioning theory. That means how we can manage rewards and punishment to ensure we regulate and not to normalize bad behaviors, as well as making good behavior a pattern. In simple words, how can we use withdrawal of approval and still not falling into the ills of silent treatment? Follow this video gradually to the end, as it is very important and interesting. Let's dive in. Operant conditioning, sometimes called instrumental conditioning or Skinnerian conditioning, is a method of learning that uses rewards and punishment to modify behavior. Through operant conditioning, behavior that is rewarded is likely to be repeated, while behavior that is punished is prone to happen less likely. If you want a child to behave in a certain way, you give him a treat each time he does that, just like you will punish each time for unwanted behavior. So, in relationship, each time we reward unpleasant behaviors with more love, attention, and care, chances are that it repeats. This gradually becomes a pattern, and as it builds up, it chokes the same relationship to death. So don't teach your partner toxicity by rewarding bad behaviors. It doesn't help you still. Always reward good behaviors. That's why most nice people end up broken-hearted. I hope this helps. And so, if you're kind to someone who's mean, you're rewarding their bad behavior, and they'll continue it. To stop this, be firm and confident without being mean. Punishing bad behavior in relationships doesn't mean being cruel but setting clear boundaries. Reacting with anger or violence only rewards their behavior, as some people seek a reaction. Instead, respond assertively but not aggressively, stating your feelings without pretending it's okay. Using a firm voice shows strength without challenging them, while extremes in tone or neutrality can provoke further bad behavior. The key is to give a firm response and not react emotionally. Let's look at the intricate angles of this discussion. According to operant conditioning theory, positive reinforcement involves encouraging desirable behaviors by rewarding them. For instance, if your spouse shows understanding or kindness, offering verbal praise, affection, or small gestures of appreciation reinforces these actions. Over time, your spouse is more likely to repeat these positive behaviors, knowing they are valued and acknowledged. Let's look at punishment vs. forgiveness. Operant conditioning also includes punishment to reduce undesirable behavior. In a relationship, punishment can be emotional, like withholding affection or expressing disappointment. While some may argue that this approach works, it must be balanced carefully. Over-reliance on punishment can strain the emotional connection, so it should be used sparingly and accompanied by open communication about expectations. Forgiveness is a very key aspect. It's important to forgive without letting forgiveness become a blank check for harmful behavior. Forgiveness allows emotional healing, but it should be paired with clear communication about boundaries and expectations. By forgiving, we maintain emotional intimacy and connection, but by holding the spouse accountable, we ensure the relationship remains respectful. However, balancing this approach with forgiveness is vital. Holding grudges or punishing your spouse for long periods can be damaging. Forgiveness doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior, but rather giving room for growth while setting healthy limits. This brings us to the next aspect: kindness and boundaries. Being kind and caring doesn't mean being passive or tolerating disrespect. Kindness comes through patience, understanding, and clear communication. You can gently express that certain behaviors are hurtful, while also affirming your love and commitment to the relationship. Setting boundaries helps maintain respect, while fostering a nurturing environment for growth. Balancing kindness with not rewarding bad behavior in a marriage can be challenging, especially when applying operant conditioning principles. Let's first address the idea of not rewarding bad behavior. If a spouse consistently engages in hurtful actions like speaking disrespectfully or neglecting responsibilities, responding with tolerance or submission may unintentionally reinforce that behavior. This is where the concept of extinction comes in. In operant conditioning, extinction occurs when a behavior that was once rewarded is no longer reinforced, causing it to decrease. If we stop rewarding bad behavior by withdrawing approval or calmly addressing the issue without escalating conflict, over time, that behavior is likely to diminish. At the same time, maintaining kindness and care is vital for the health of the relationship. This is where positive reinforcement plays a role. While not reinforcing bad behavior, we should still actively reward positive actions. For example, when our spouse shows respect, makes efforts to improve, or shows love, we can reinforce those behaviors through appreciation, affection, and acknowledgement. This encourages them to continue engaging in these positive actions. Finally, let's look at withholding approval and praise versus silent treatment in a form of operant conditioning. Balancing the withholding of approval and appreciation with the dangers of silent treatment can be tricky, but the key lies in understanding operant conditioning. In relationships, withholding approval when someone behaves poorly can act as a form of negative reinforcement, discouraging bad behavior without needing to resort to the silent treatment. Silent treatment, however, becomes counterproductive. It doesn't teach a lesson, but instead fosters resentment and confusion. Instead, aim to give clear feedback. When someone does something wrong, withhold praise or approval but still communicate. Let them know why you're displeased. This maintains a healthy dynamic of positive reinforcement for good behavior and a clear boundary for unacceptable actions without the emotional harm that silent treatment often causes. This way, you guide behavior without creating emotional distance. In conclusion, balancing the delicate dynamics of a relationship using operant conditioning principles involves not reinforcing negative behaviors while reinforcing positive ones. It entails blending kindness with firmness. You can still be compassionate and forgiving while encouraging the best behaviors from your spouse, creating a stronger and more respectful relationship. Through a combination of clear boundaries, positive reinforcement, and forgiveness, we can cultivate a healthy, caring relationship without tolerating or rewarding harmful actions. As a form of negative reinforcement, you can withhold praise but communicate to avoid it getting to silent treatment. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, put it down on the comments section. Bye for now, see you next time.